Hi, I'm Zach. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I've been doing YouTube for 10 years. Many times I've found myself affected by hate comments and in a way that drains me and affects my self-worth and my productivity and my mental state of mind and the quality of my life. Over the years, I've worked on this and gotten much better at it as far as not letting it affect me and get me into a state of mind of defensiveness and anger and completely destroy the quality of the rest of my day. I would find myself, I'd be uploading video after video, not getting many views, and just anticipating some type of engagement or comment. And then, especially towards the beginning, a very large amount of my comments were just hate comments, or this sucks, or just some personal attack and character attack that's like just low balling and disrespectful. And I took it very personally. I mean, overall, just as a person, I've been very good at not allowing hateful people to affect me, and I've been very good at having the wisdom to know that they are hurt, they're insecure, and they're trying to break me down to feel better about themselves. And I've known this, but knowing that and putting it into practice whenever you're working very hard on something for years, and then you keep getting all this hate and these comments, and it knowing it is one thing, but acting on it and being able to actually have the experiential wisdom to not let it affect you when it's happening in the moment, two very different things. And I've gotten much better at it. At this point, you see, I used to always try to respond to every single comment. Even if they keep replying, I would just keep responding. And I would get into all these debates about my life choices, about veganism. You know how the internet is, where there's always someone who's got another side and perspective. And many of these conversations were just disrespectful and like back and forth and trying to win. And I changed my tone over the years to just replying once, doing it with respect, and stating my point and position with respect, but I always try to treat the other person like a human being. And many times after getting hate comments, I've gotten much better at it, at responding to whatever they say in some witty way. But then afterwards, I'll say something like, I strongly disagree, but I still respect you as a human being, and I hope you're doing okay. I say something like that. And many times it actually changes the tone, and then the person gives me respect right back. And sometimes they wouldn't. And then I would double down, and I would just keep responding to their hate comments, which would just be disrespectful, and they'd be trying to break me. And what I've learned more recently about that is to just do one or two messages, but after that, cut people off. And also, I don't need to respond to every single person. I don't need to convince a stranger that I'm good enough. I don't need to convince a stranger that I'm there for my son. I know the truth. And so having this state of mind and just being comfortable in my own skin, knowing my truth, I respond once, as clearly as I can, to whatever hateful comment. And you know what? Sometimes it's just constructive criticism of people that actually care. And that's another lesson that I learned through the years, is not taking all these as personal attacks. Sometimes it's really just constructive criticism. But there is another side to that, where there's people that give you constructive criticism, but they're doing it to break you down. They're doing it to make you second guess yourself, and they're doing it because they have an insecurity about what they're working on in their life or what they're not working on. And so they're wasting their time constantly watching your videos, saying all these things like, get a job, do this, whenever they're not putting that time to work on themselves. And then they justify it as putting it on a foundation of helping you whenever, and they might have good advice and they might be right, but many times people aren't. They're assuming something about you so they can just have a jab at you. But there are many people out there that do help, like that, you know, like have told me the quality of my music could be better, and they give you actual specific details and constructive criticism on how to get better, or, you know, talking about this in this video isn't really relevant, or so and so. Just actual constructive criticism I value a lot, and I've gotten much better at taking it. But there are people who will frame their comment as constructive criticism, but it's really a personal attack, or just, and they usually still like frame it in some disrespectful way, and in some way that's like pointed. It's supposed to be a jab, and yeah. So with those, I respond once as clearly as I can, and then I cut them off, and I don't invest any more time and energy, because I've learned that if I continue to respond to every single comment and just invest all this time in, it turns into like hours, like too much time that I'm investing into responding, but also it affects my mood, affects my productivity, which generally just, I mean, for anybody that is actually, yeah, it stops me from succeeding with a cloudy mind, with a messed up mood, and an inability to focus. Then everything in my life starts to suffer. And so that's why I will not respond to every single comment, but I try to respond to every one at least once, and then give them a chance. Hey, Angus, I'm trying to make a video over here. Come on, man. He's putting in his 2 cents. He really doesn't like all the haters in my comments. He's very protective. So how about you? Do you deal with a lot of haters, and do you deal with a lot of hate, or do you get a lot of constructive criticism? Because that's actually a good thing. Even if it's coming from a hater, constructive criticism is a good thing. All right, I'm going to take this so it's not so loud. But usually if constructive criticism is coming from a hater or someone who's constantly negative, the criticism they're giving you may not be as valid, because that person that views you in a negative way is going to look for more faults and try to see faults that aren't there. So they're not going to have a clear picture of what you need to actually improve on and what's actually best for you. They make up their own picture and make up their own assumption about you. And that is something that I've learned over the years to not be a part of, and to just stand in my truth and my light as confidently, and be open to everyone. Give everyone a chance and hear the constructive criticism from everyone, but cut them off at a certain point, because after a certain point, it's really, it's not helping. I mean, like certain things, like someone telling me, quit this, get a job, quit this, get a job. I'm already set on what I'm going to do, and I've already said I'm going to get a job if I don't make the $1,000 by January 27th. And I will get a job, but no amount of commenting or telling me otherwise is going to change that. And I must also say the amount of negative comments has gone down as my channel has grown, and I've found people to resonate with my message and music and the content I create, and who support me and who are very positive. And I've been very blessed to have these supporters and these people be here. So thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting and supporting, being a patron. Thank you. And so I know that these comments aren't anything serious. Hater comments, it's nothing to take seriously or personally, and definitely not something that I should allow to ruin my life, to ruin the quality of my life and the trajectory of my life, because I don't become as focused and as competent. These comments are not worth it. And comments really can be a great tool to improve and to engage with the audience. And sometimes these hater comments can also be an opportunity to turn an ugly situation into something with respect that's more beautiful. Thank you for watching. For the animals! Woo!